Hey all, welcome back. This is Dino the Ops Guy. This is Production Management in Practice, or Stardew Production Management 101. This is basically a university level course that I'm offering free online, like in YouTube. No grades or anything, but instead of starting from a textbook, which can be very dry, in some cases quickly out of date, I'm starting from real experiences. So we're looking for a production environment. As things come up in the production environment, we'll discuss them, talk about how it fits in, how to respond, that sort of thing. And the production environment that I've chosen, that you can basically be trying your own, is Stardew Valley. So basically, I'm giving you a factory tour, if you will, in Stardew Valley, and then we're going to talk about the production issues that we see in as a sort of a player and gamer in Stardew Valley. So I'm Dino, the strategy kind of management person. I have someone to help me who's like the operations, like on the floor type person. That's Av. You're going to meet Av. But before we get started, just wanted to focus on one thing that I said in the last episode that I probably should correct. I had shown that blueberries were not that much return. I had in my spreadsheet that blueberries have you can harvest 3 per plant. It's actually even more than 3 per plant. Plus, there's a 2% chance of getting more than that. But nonetheless, if you take it from 1 per plant to 3 per plant, you get the updated chart on the right, where blueberries are right below melons and just above hops. And you're thinking, Dino, well, that means we should grow blueberries and not hops. Actually, hops and melon both have a secondary purpose blueberry does too. Melons are very, very good for jars, also good for kegs. Hops are probably the best for kegs. Maybe coffee's a little better, but hops for sure. And then blueberry, the dehydrator, but the dehydrator isn't a big multiplier. So we're going to grow some blueberries so we can run our dehydrator. We get a free one. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even build one. But and we can also do like hot pepper and cranberry eventually. But for the summer, blueberry is the way to go for the dehydrator. So all that to say, we're going to grow a lot of melon. We're going to grow a lot of hops. We're going to grow some blueberry. And then a smattering of the rest, the stuff that goes into the bundles like tomato and hot pepper, we're going to grow. So there has been an update for the plant layout, but we'll get to that at the end because that's going to lead into summer. So having said that, let's talk about what Av is hoping to accomplish today, or what I have set for Av. Basically harvest and set up crops for summer. Notice I don't say water the crops. The only crop that needs to be watered is coffee at this point, and that's got a sprinkler on it. And the reason I say that is because over at the end of spring, which is now the end of spring, the 28th, everything is going to wither for Monday morning. So no sense in watering it just so it's going to wither. We can water it if we want that plot to maintain, but it's still going to be a dead plant when we come in Monday morning. But so we're not watering it so that we can make it grow. It's done growing unless it's a plant that crosses seasons. And right now the only plant that we have that crosses seasons is coffee. So make a sprinkler for honey production. So that's part of the plan for Monday. Use a gold bar to make a quality sprinkler. We do have a gold bar. We could use it for bundles, but we're going to say divert it to quality sprinkler first. And then maybe the next gold bar we'll put in the bundle. I'm not too concerned about that. Once we complete the bundle of a copper bar, an iron bar, and a gold bar, we end up with a new furnace. And we already have 2 furnaces. That's going to get us by for now. It'll be nice to get the third, but it's not the most dire thing. And certainly getting a quality sprinkler is a little more important given the position first thing in summer. We do want to have a fair bit of money, let's say in the 5,000 range. So if we're not there by the time Av is going to bed, you should put some into the shipper so that by Monday we should get it. We can cash stuff in. Pairs is open. But it's just easy if we have the money up front and not have to carry a whole bunch of stuff around. As well, the luck is pretty good today, so let's mine for floors. If you see any fishing rings, great. If you got some free time, forage, great. But for the most part, let's do that. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Av. Take it away. Okay, thanks, Dino. Yeah, the weather report today, it's going to be beautiful. And that's for tomorrow, actually. The spirits are in good humor today. That's a good thing. And we learn how to make omelet. So wonderful. Gonna grab some strawberries. Dino forgot to put, it is a Sunday, and Dino forgot to put on the task list going down to the cart, the merchant cart. But I remembered it, so we will do it. It's pretty important that we are diligent about checking the cart. We got some eggs from the ladies, gave us some eggs. So we are going to make a mayonnaise machine. We're going to drop off all the cauliflower because we're going to use that in the jars, but the 2 green bean and all of the strawberries that we're going to sell because we have 16 strawberries and we have 2 green beans, and that's pretty much all we need to cover. So we're going to load the mayonnaise machine with an egg, and we're going to create a chest, and then we're going to store our eggs in the chest, and that's going to be sort of its own self-running little area there. We're just going to pick up an egg, drop it in, pick up an egg, drop it in. We also got a soggy newspaper that we can trade that in for our refined quartz. We're going to use that refined quartz in a bit. So what we want to do is sort of create the structure of the planting. Let's water Meow's bowl and say hi to Meow. So what we want to do is have like a three row column, whatever. So a whole bunch of columns of 3 is essentially what I'm trying to say. Basically from chest to chest, right in front of the house there along the walkway, because we've seen a plan that will probably get updated, but it won't get updated so much that we don't have to do the same plots, I'm pretty sure. So this is what we're going to do, and the thinking is that if we do this now, then maybe the tilled earth spots won't evaporate until next time. We're watering the strawberries, but it's not going to help because from the standpoint, the strawberries are going to wither overnight. Once they get into summer, it'll just be like, a little bit. But hopefully that'll be enough to keep the soil ready. We're also going to move the scarecrow. The scarecrow does sort of like 8 in each direction and a bit of a circular thing. So if you look 8 to the east, it's going to go 4 rows north of that and 4 rows south of that. So I'm just trying to calculate where the scarecrow should be so I can get that corner. Well, what's now a strawberry, but later it's probably going to be a melon. So and then we're going to make sort of do another 3 rows here. Again, 3's magic because we can use our watering can to do 3 at a time. So we already got our first round of mayonnaise, so we can refill that. So if we water these, hopefully they'll be good for tomorrow. The thinking being, one of the things we talk about in setup reduction, or SMED, single minute exchange, single moment exchange of dies, is there are some things that are internal and some things are external. So tomorrow morning, we're going to have to hoe these if they're not already hoed. So if they are already hoed, if they carry over from today, that'll save us some time tomorrow. So that's taking what's internal tomorrow and making it external, that's today, so that we can save time tomorrow. That's the plan. It may not work. We'll see what happens. So we'll load up the kilns with some iron. We will use the gold to make a quality sprinkler. Quality sprinkler, there's 8 of the spots around it, not just the immediate 4. We do need 1 of those refined quartz to make it. And we're going to use it. This is going to be for our hops. Hops are a great plant. They're really good return, especially when you start counting what they can do in the keg. The problem with hops, though, is you can't walk through them. They're sort of an unmovable entity, if you will. We're a bit too close. Let's move it a little farther away. So, the sprinklers are going to sprinkle themselves. Good. So we're going to have 9 hops around that. That's the plan. I mean, we can do a whole bunch of things, but sort of the short-term plan is we're going to have 9 hops around that. We do this sort of regular sprinkler, if we want to have one of those near the bee house. And the idea being it's going to water the flowers, the 2 flowers that we're going to use to make basically flowered bee honey. But we don't want to pick those flowers even inadvertently. I had to move Meow for a minute there. So the idea is we'll surround them. So east and west of that sprinkler, we're going to have the flower. In this case, it's going to be poppy. And then north and south of that, we're going to have hops, which you can't walk through, and a whole bunch of bee houses, which you can't walk through. And hopefully that'll protect the flowers enough that we don't inadvertently pick them. So let's go to the cart, merchant cart. Oh, there's Jess. Having fun skipping. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Chaz. Okay, so I do not see any of the red cabbage, but I do want to buy that rabbit's foot. That was a bit expensive, but the idea with rabbit's foot is part of the bundle, one of the last bundles we end up doing overall. So we want basically a full deluxe barn, and then we're going to, or I guess it's going to be a coop, deluxe coop or whatever, and then we're going to get rabbits, and then those rabbits are, going to befriend us, and after they befriended us, hopefully they'll give us rabbit foot. So this just takes a lot of that hassle away if we have a rabbit's foot now. So it potentially could make us be done all of their bundles and have the community center open earlier. That's the plan. My placement here is terrible. Okay, so Lewis wants some cauliflower. We'll have to remember that. I think we're going to do that tomorrow. I don't know that we get a lot of time right now. We're going to sell our cauliflower, pickled cauliflower. We're going to sell our strawberries. And we're just going to say hi. And I think, we're better off just dropping off the lucky rabbit's foot and going right to the mines. Gold is pretty important this time, especially for sprinklers and stuff. That's kind of helpful. So I don't remember which bundle it is. Magic's bundle, maybe? Yeah, the Enchanter's bundle. That's it. So hopefully that'll set us, give us some extra time at the end and get things done sooner so we could get to Ginger Island. That's a pretty lucrative place, so I want to get there as soon as we can. So saying hi to Robin, and we're saying hi to I just lied to Demetrius. We did get a salmon berry, but in the moment I said no, thinking, I don't think I remember. Oh, yes, a salmon berry. I don't see any rings. I don't see any forage, so let's get back to the mine. And the point here is we're just going to take floors. I mean, if we see copper ore, iron ore, if we see copper ore even. We didn't sell the beans. I thought we had sold the beans. All right, so we'll have to do that another time. But, okay, so once we get in the mine, if we do see gold, that's the way to go. Oh, we got our first, let me water the slime, because that's what they want. Our first floor is a monster floor. That's awesome. So we got through that pretty quickly. Looking again, we want to go a little faster than just stone. Yes, and if we're going to get gold ore, is likely on these levels going to be from the ghosts. So let's treat the ghosts nicely with our insect head sword, or whatever they call insect head weapon. So hard to call it a sword. Maybe it's a two sword, or do I hold it by the two sides and then I don't know. It just seems odd, but. Either way, okay, so we're now resorting to mining stones. I mean, it's not bad. I like getting stones. There's the hole. I would rather, again, our selection of tools is not so toolish. Oh, here we go. We're almost out of food. Let's use up all the gold spring onions. It'll just leave another spot. And it's fairly quick, so we can get through it. All right, let's get some iron ore. Let's get some copper ore. Let's get some barrels ore. More iron ore. And a jade. I see a jade. Jade is good. And a jade's got a ladder underneath it. Let's get some iron ore. I like the iron ore we're getting. And it's already 64. When I'm 64. So one more floor, and it is a 60. There we go. 65th floor. Love it. All right, let's drop off. We're going to go back down in the mine. We're doing so well. Let's head back. Hoping to get to 70. I don't know that we're going to have time, but let's shoot for the moon, right? So we got a mystery box. That's okay. Now we're resorting to, there's some stone. See, it goes so much faster when you're lucky. There's another one. Let's get the boxes of the crates as well. And then we're out of here. Oh, we got another monster floor, or an infested floor, I guess, is the approach to. Oh, we got another coffee bean. 2 coffee beans. That's awesome. Normally, if you have to buy them, clearly we don't have to buy them, but if you have to buy them, it's 2,500. So not that the second one's going to be more expensive, but it just moves things a little faster. So normally you would get the second from the first after growing it, but I think it takes like a dozen days or so. Okay, let's get rid of the bat. And I'm a bit concerned. Let's get right to the coal hopper, or the coal, whatever it is, backpack. Because we have run out of time. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. And even if we had seen a ladder, we'd still have to do, that would get us to 69. 69 is one of those long, snaky ones, so it's probably not worth risking anything there. Let's put the coffee up on top so we can plant it right away, if that makes sense. We probably have time. I'm hoping we have time. 12:30. It's not the end of the end of the end. So, but we do have to figure out. And I do remember there's a spot that we can forage along the way back, like dig in the ground. I forget what they call it, like artifact site or whatever. So let's leave room for one of those. Otherwise, and we do want to bring the horseradish because that'll match to make spring seeds, but the other ones won't necessarily match. So let's making our way. It is 1 o'clock. You know what? I missed that sign. Usually when it's 1 o'clock, it says you are sleepy. Somewhere in here. Where the heck? There it is. We got it, Clay. So let's close the barn doors or the coop doors. No, I didn't want to go inside. I wanted to close the coop doors, and let's change the... Man, I hate when having full inventory and your selection are not paying attention to you. No, I'm trying to get the egg. We're just going to bed. We're just going to rush to bed because we do not want to get stuck. Level 7 farming, the loom looms. There we go. And the following day, we are going to get a storm on Tuesday. That's awesome. And it's going to be but not so good luck. And I'm going to send it back to you, Dino. Okay, thanks, Av. Yeah, good catch. Certainly, I've been in situations, not good situations typically, where upper management feels that by pitting employees against each other, they're going to upper management will somehow gain from it, that survival of the fittest or something like that. I don't find that it works all that well. I'd prefer the other way around. And here's a situation where, because Av and I have a good relationship, we'll cover each other, whatever needs to be done. Not to hide things. We're certainly not trying to hide things. But, just making sure it gets done, and it's better for the company. It's better for both of us. So that works out kind of well. So let's get into what we had set up to do. And Av did harvest the crops and set things up for summer. Did a really good job. Maybe didn't water all of them. And again, I don't know if that's going to work. But as much as was watered so that we can get a new watering can, basically a fresh charge in the watering can. We made the sprinkler for the honey production, and that will be set up. We're going to use the gold bar. He used the gold bar to make the quality sprinkler, so that does 8 instead of the 4. Made sure we had 5,000. We get more than enough than that. And mine floors, we got a flight of 5. We didn't get the second flight of 5, going to 29, 69, whatever, 59, whatever. Anyway, going through that last floor probably would have killed us, so not worried about that. We did look for fishing spots, didn't find any, and we did a bit of foraging in Cinder Forest, but not a whole bunch. We didn't get a chance to get to the ocean. Maybe we left some money that way, but I'm pretty happy with what happened. Before we get into summer, I do want to talk about the revised plot layout. Before we had talked about, because it's just habit of doing 3 of everything, so 3 hot pepper, 3 radish, and 3 tomato. The big thing you're going to find is we only use 1 hot pepper and 1 tomato for the bundles, and we don't use any radish at all. I usually just make the plant the radish so that if it came up in a quest, I'd have 1 kind of thing. So instead of 3 of each, I think the better plan is to do one hot pepper, one tomato, and one radish. And even the hot pepper, some of the mixed seeds end up being hot pepper, so we'll probably have more than enough of that. I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that I may have mistaken the count. From the standpoint, there's a chest on the right side, but no chest on the left side. There should be a chest on the left side. So I probably have one too many columns that are called for. But the idea being, we're going to have if you look up at the bee houses, 2 hops across from each other and 2 poppies across from each other. And the idea being, once we put bee houses in, the hops, because you can't walk through them, and the bee houses will protect the poppies from being picked. So they won't be able to be picked earlier, but once they're in full bloom, we want to leave them in full bloom for the whole season so that we can get the benefit from the honey. And so in the past, I've had trouble where I've gone by there and instead of picking a honey or instead of picking a hops, I end up picking a poppy, and that's not as good. So we're going to build a little, barrier around those using the hops. But as well, we also like hops when we get to the kegs. So you can see the new sprinkler, I made it with a capital H, basically is surrounded by hops. We don't have to touch the sprinkler, so we don't have to get through the hops. So that's a really good arrangement. I've got a second coffee bean. That's awesome. So we're going to plant 2 coffee beans with our starfruit, and we're going to get the poppy. So the good news is we're not going to pick the poppy all season for the bee houses, so it can do what it's supposed to do. The bad news is sometimes I forget to pick it on the last day, and then I don't have a poppy for the bundles. So that's going to be my bundle poppy. Once it grows, we'll put that in the bundle. But beyond that, the plan, and this is going to be up to Av to sort of finesse and manage, is have one column of blueberry, have a column that is hot pepper and tomato with radish in the middle, and then have another column of blueberry, and those 9 being as far away from like the last sort of set on that bunch. Once the radish is gone, we can fill that in with a quality sprinkler, and then we don't have to water those either. And then after that, we can do one more row of blueberries if we like, or right away, or with the blueberries, whatever, do everything else melon. So that's the idea, just to fill that with melon. And then the next set below that, we're going to first do our mixed seeds. We have 12 of those. And then 15 wheat. We're going to get some wheat probably from the mixed seeds as well. But the plan to get at least 10 wheat and 10 wheat of the same quality and 10 hay for our forage bundle, I think it's called. There's another bundle for that with the apples. So that's all set up. It leaves us plenty of room for expansion along there. If we buy too many melons, we can put them in groups of 9 in there. That's going to work out well. Even if we want to get another round of melons going, that's second, third, fourth day, whatever, that we can do as well. So hopefully that makes sense. That works about $6,000. We have 9 of the melons, which works about $720. So that's why I was saying around $5,000, but we have more than enough money, and Av can make the best of the situation that's going on there. So hopefully this is going well for you. It really is meant to be a class in production management. Hopefully you're getting something out of that. Maybe you're just getting how to better play Stardew Valley. I'll tell you, there's probably more, better ways of playing Stardew Valley that I'm not considering. For example, I didn't on spring 16 or 17, whatever it is, on the St. Patrick's Day, if you will, the Easter egg with the chest at the end of the rainbow. I didn't get that. When it comes to Halloween, or I forget what they call it, Pumpkin's Eve or whatever, I'm not going to get the super pumpkin. To me, it's all about playing being good in operations and using the game as a background. So if you're looking for the other stuff, I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers out there who will do that. But on the basically academic side, the pedagogy side, the learning side, hopefully you're getting the big 3. One is, start with a strategy. In our case, it's the community center, the bundles, and stick with it. The second thing is find your bottlenecks. Right now, our bottleneck is the amount of time that we have during the day. It wasn't always that, but manage those. And the third thing is if you have obvious trade-offs, obvious dominated decisions, such as, don't sell your spring forage items if you can make them into seeds and sell them for more. Those three: strategy, bottleneck, and sort of the obvious decisions that we're going to lay out. You're probably getting enough out of this course to do a decent job on your own. We will continue. If you want some more topics in there, other things to consider, if you have questions or comments, there is a comment section that I will read. Everything else, given that this is the last day of spring, I'm going to say I will see you tomorrow in summer. Dino the Ops Guy signing off.